Only last week we spoke about this. This is a quick segue away from Invictus Games, but we spoke about this because Hello Magazine reported a friend of Harry who said that it was very important to him. One of his main priorities is to have security in the UK so he can bring back his children and Meghan to the UK. I just wanted to get your quick thoughts on that, because it's almost like sending a message to the King and to Britain that he doesn't feel safe to bring back his kids and Meghan to the UK. And I'll tell you what, just briefly, I think it almost felt like a bit like blackmail, kind of saying if I don't get my security, then you will never see, King, you will never see your grandchildren, or the country will never see the family come back to the UK unless I get my security.
Well, if he says that, then he's stupid. And I feel very sorry for our King, because he doesn't get to see his grandchildren, which is sad. But if he came to England with his children, Meghan and his children, they would be looked after. I mean, they wouldn't have personal security, but they would be in the bubble. They'd be in the circle. Wherever.
The British royal family has always been a spectacle, loved by some, scrutinised by others. But in recent years, no member has been more controversial than Prince Harry. A recent article in The Sun suggests that Harry is blackmailing King Charles over his children Archie and Lilibet. Veteran royal photographer Arthur Edwards has painted a picture of a petulant, entitled prince using his children as leverage. But is that the truth, or is Prince Harry, once the spare, finally standing up for what he believes in? Let's look at the facts, not through the lens of palace loyalists, but through the reality of what it means to be a father, a son, and a man caught between two worlds. Privacy becomes a luxury, and personal lives are often sacrificed at the altar of duty and tradition. The walls of the palace may offer some protection, but they also serve as a gilded cage. But what happens when the weight of that legacy becomes unbearable? When the pressures of royal life start to take a toll on mental health and personal well-being? When does the desire for a normal life, for the safety and well-being of loved ones, supersede the demands of an antiquated institution? The struggle to balance personal happiness with public duty is a constant challenge. The recent experiences of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle have brought these questions to the forefront. Their decision to step back from royal duties was not made lightly, but it was a necessary step for their mental and emotional well-being. Their departure from royal duties, dubbed Megxit, sent shockwaves through the world. It sparked debates about the relevance of the monarchy in the modern age and the pressures faced by those born into it. Many saw it as a betrayal, a rejection of the very institution that gave them their platform. Critics argued that they were turning their backs on centuries of tradition and responsibility. Yet, beneath the surface of this highly publicised exit lies a deeper, more nuanced story. A story of a man grappling with the legacy of his past and determined to protect his family from the forces that nearly destroyed his mother. Prince Harry's journey is one of self-discovery and resilience as he seeks to carve out a new path for himself and his loved ones, free from the shadows of the past. Their story is a reminder that behind the titles and the tiaras, the royals are human beings with their own struggles and desires. It challenges us to rethink our perceptions of royalty and to consider the human cost of living under such intense public scrutiny. The duality of royal life is a complex tapestry of privilege and sacrifice, duty and personal freedom. As the world watches their every move, the British royal family continues to navigate the delicate balance between tradition and modernity, public duty and private happiness. The prevailing narrative paints Prince Harry as a villain, a petulant prince who chose love over loyalty. This simplistic portrayal fails to capture the complexity of his choices and the depth of his experiences. He's been accused of being manipulated, of being under the undue influence of his wife, Meghan Markle, and of blackmailing his own family for security and financial gain. These accusations, however, often overlook the genuine concerns he has raised about safety and privacy. This interpretation, however, conveniently ignores the historical context and the very real trauma that informs his decisions. The shadow of his mother, Princess Diana, looms large over his life. To understand Harry, one must understand the life he's lived, the burdens he's carried, and the responsibilities he's shouldered from a young age. The lessons etched into his soul by the tragic loss of his mother, Princess Diana, have profoundly shaped his worldview and his actions. Prince Harry is not naive to the inner workings of the monarchy. He has seen firsthand the pressures and expectations that come with being a royal, nor is he oblivious to the media's insatiable appetite for royal scandal. The relentless pursuit of sensational stories has often come at a great personal cost to him and his family. He grew up witnessing the devastating impact of relentless scrutiny, the intrusion into private lives, and the often malicious fabrications that plagued his mother's life and ultimately contributed to her untimely death. This traumatic experience has left an indelible mark on him. To label him as merely a disgruntled prince is not only reductive, but dangerously dismissive of the very real threats that his family faces. His actions are driven by a desire to protect his loved ones and to carve out a life of dignity and respect. Prince Harry's journey is one of resilience and courage. He has chosen to speak out against the injustices he has witnessed and experienced, striving to create a safer and more compassionate world for his family and others. In challenging the narrative around him, we must recognize the strength it takes to stand up against powerful institutions and the bravery required to forge a new path in the face of adversity. The wounds left by Princess Diana's death run deep, not just for her sons, but for the monarchy itself. Her passing marked a turning point, a moment of profound grief that resonated across the globe. The image of young Prince Harry and Prince William walking behind their mother's coffin is etched into the collective memory, symbolizing not just personal loss, but a national tragedy. Diana's tragic end exposed the dark underbelly of royal life, the toxic relationship with the British tabloid press, and the institution's inability to protect its own. The relentless pursuit by the paparazzi, the invasive headlines, and the constant scrutiny created an environment of fear and distress. Diana's struggle with the media was a battle for her privacy, her dignity, and ultimately her life. It's impossible to disentangle Harry's actions from this history, from the visceral understanding he possesses of what unchecked media frenzy and lack of adequate security can lead to. His experiences growing up under the same relentless spotlight have shaped his worldview and his decisions. Harry's every move is a reflection of the lessons learned from his mother's tragic fate. Diana's legacy is not one of duty and decorum, but of rebellion and compassion. She broke away from the traditional royal mold, choosing instead to connect with people on a deeply personal level. Her warmth and empathy transcended the barriers of royalty, making her a beloved figure worldwide. She challenged the status quo, using her platform to advocate for the voiceless and connect with people on a human level. Her work with AIDS patients, her efforts to ban landmines, and her support for various charitable causes showcased her commitment to making a difference. Diana's humanitarian efforts were a testament to her belief in the power of kindness and compassion. Prince Harry, in his own way, is continuing that legacy. He's taken up the mantle of advocacy, focusing on mental health, veterans' issues, and social justice. Harry's dedication to these causes reflects his mother's influence and his desire to honor her memory through meaningful action. He refuses to be silenced, to stand by while history repeats itself. Harry's decision to step back from royal duties was a bold move, driven by a need to protect his family and carve out a new path. His determination to speak out against injustice and to challenge the status quo is a continuation of Diana's spirit of rebellion. His determination to protect his wife and children, to prioritize their well-being above all else, is not an act of rebellion but an act of love, a love born from the ashes of unimaginable loss. Harry's journey is one of healing and resilience, a testament to the enduring impact of his mother's legacy. In choosing love and compassion over duty and tradition, he honors Diana's memory and ensures that her spirit lives on through his actions and his family. Much has been made of Prince Harry's demands for security, painting him as entitled and out of touch. Yet, these requests are not about luxury or status, but about the fundamental right to safety and peace of mind. Having experienced firsthand the devastating consequences of inadequate protection, it's understandable why Harry would be resolute in his stance. This isn't about special treatment, it's about safeguarding his family from very real threats. The British press, with its history of intrusive tactics and often unethical practices, has played a significant role in fueling the animosity towards Harry and Meghan. The couple has been subjected to relentless negative coverage, often laced with racist and sexist undertones. This isn't about mere gossip, it's about the creation of a hostile and dangerous environment. In this context, Harry's demands for security are not unreasonable, but rather the necessary actions of a husband and father determined to shield his family from harm. And if Charles truly wants a relationship with his grandchildren, it is not Harry who needs to bend. It is the king who must finally act like a father first and a monarch second. So, ask yourself, is Harry blackmailing the king? Or is he simply doing what every good father should, putting his children first? The answer isn't scandalous, it's just human.